Pravritti for the Win, by Krishna's mercy. Saitham nirjit kubekarad vishayan priyan, yathopajosham bhunjano natripyada jitendriya. Quote, in spite of achieving the power to control in all directions, and in spite of enjoying all types of dear sense gratification as much as possible, Hiranyakashipu was dissatisfied because instead of controlling his senses, he remained their servant. Shrimad Bhagavatam 7-4-19.
I have heard you often mention the benefit of the Jitendriya platform. In fact, this is supposedly the only way to be happy in this otherwise miserable existence. We only think that we are happy when we experience sukha, which is on the opposite side of dukkha. Sri Krishna even emphasizes that the two occur like the changing of seasons. In other words, we do not need to intentionally seek out happiness or distress. Just by letting time pass, my depression will transform into elation, and vice versa. Matra sparshastu konteya, shitoshna sukh duhakda, agama payino nityas, tans titikshasva bharat. Quote, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 2:14. Jitendriya refers to control over the senses. It is an important teaching since otherwise no one dares to enter that territory. I had never heard of such a concept, of such a pursuit, of such a benefit, prior to coming across Vedic literature, and especially the Bhagavad presentation from the line of teachers to which His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada belongs. Indriya refers to the senses. The Sanskrit word jita refers to victory or conquering. Jitendriya is thus conquering the senses. I like to compare it to adherence to the rules of a diet. Imagine if you are swearing off carbs for a week or two, but the entire time you are seated at a pizza buffet table. There is endless pasta, pizza, and maybe pancakes during the breakfast hours. Since you are Jitendriya in this isolated case, you will not break your vow. Real Jitendriya is expanding the same concept out to the largest scope. The reason this particular concept is important is because our leaders subtly push us in completely the opposite direction. Work hard so that you will have money. Win here and win there. Have so much but then stay miserable. That is the outcome if they were being honest. We have the examples of Ravana and Hiranyakashipu described in Vedic literature. Those two literally had control over everything. Better than instant delivery through an app, they could get whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. And yet they were miserable. This is because they were Ajitendriya. Havarsham vinashishyanti sarve ravan rakshasa. Yeshantvam karkasho raja durbuddhira jitendriya. Quote, O Ravana, inevitably all of the Rakshasas will be completely destroyed, for they have a person like you, who is stupid, lustful, and unable to control his senses, for their king. Sita Devi speaking to Ravana, Valmiki Ramayana, Aranyakand, 48:22. The problem I see is that there is no way people will even give the time to listen to your presentation. They are busy scrolling through an endless list of videos. They will not pay attention. You cannot get them to sit still. If they should perhaps listen to the instruction, they will still not know what to do. I believe the conditions in society today are not conducive to controlling the senses. Every person is far too gone into one or all of the worst anarthas, which are gambling, intoxication, meat eating, and illicit sex.
This is a valid characterization. The landscape changes so rapidly that even the last 10 years have dramatically transformed the world. As an example, today, anyone can be on television. They simply point the smartphone in a specific direction and start to stream their video live, made available to the entire world. There is no requirement on a television network, an elaborate studio, a makeup artist, or a green room to prepare beforehand. Albeit an amateur production, the distribution has the potential to reach the same levels as the broadcast networks when measuring in total views. There is endless video content to consume. There are endless games to play. There are endless ways to place wagers on sporting events. Without much effort, the senses will almost accidentally be engaged throughout the day. In this condition, who is even thinking of controlling the senses? One way to find success is to place emphasis on positive action. Make this the first priority. In Sanskrit, this is known as pravritti. Terms like karya, karma, and kriya are related. Follow some kind of action which is tied to some sort of regulation which is backed by authority. In other words, the action is recommended. It is what to do as opposed to what not to do. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye, bandham moksham cha ya vetti buddhi, sa parth sattviki. Quote, O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, that understanding is established in the mode of goodness. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita, 1830. The kriya should be attached to transcendence. The interest can be known as kriya yoga. The more potent form is bhakti, where the yoga is in devotion. The action is for pleasing the senses of someone else. He is known as Hiranyakashipu, since he is the master of all senses. There is yoga because of the connection. There is karya in something like chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Take something basic like chanting the holy names and then gradually expand. Fill the entire day with kriya, with positive action. Soon there will be no time to worry about anartha or nivritti. Through positive action, pravritti, the negatives will be eliminated, nivritti. Bhakti Yoga societies exist to facilitate this goal. Attendees and residents can take part in positive action, supporting one another, building towards a higher goal. If no such societies are nearby, then the aforementioned access to endless digital content can be purified through positive engagement in hearing, shravanam, and chanting kirtanam. If contemplating on the subject matter, there is the opportunity for meditation, dhyana. Yog yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriya. Sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. Quote, one who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 5:7. In closing, so far from dharma to depart, in regulation where to even start, how that phone to take away, when eyes fixed on it to stay, to pravritti small effort grant, in routine holy names chant. This way rather than on rules to patrol, from devotion senses to control.